Good afternoon. My name is Angelique Jones. Welcome to my Library of Congress search. So I was looking for something of interest on the Library of Congress search, and I came across some African American photographs that were assembled for a 1900 Paris exposition. So I came across that by going to the libraryofcongress.gov website. And then I just kind of did a general search. I went down to the library catalog, and then I scrolled down and decided to look under prints and photographs in their online catalog to see what they had. I've been teaching art this year, so I thought, let's take a peek and see what they might have here. And this one caught my eye. The African American photographs here. It says assembled for the Paris Exposition, so anything Parisian also kind of is of interest to me. And this first picture looked kind of interesting. It's got some nicely dressed ladies on the front. And then I was reading this little excerpt here about the collection. So it looks like it says the display will be about the present conditions of African Americans. So present conditions in the 1900s. Let's see. So it looks like there are 500 photographs in all, and the Library of Congress holds approximately 220 mounted photographs. Let's see. All compiled by Dubois. Oh, okay, the albums showing types and Negro life. So when it says types, that kind of sparks, again, some interest because we don't generally categorize people by types anymore. So I'm curious as to what they would have categorized, what types of people back in the 1900s. And then it talks more about transcriptions of Georgia state laws relating to blacks all the way back to the 1730s, drawings charting the conditions of African Americans at the turn of the century. So it looks like it could be some rather interesting materials to sort through. So this really looked intriguing to me. So I want to see what that entails. So it looks like there are quite a few pages here. At first glance, I just wanted to do a quick search, and it looked like lots of buildings. And when I searched through, I saw quickly there were lots of charts. So that's what I was kind of curious about. But I wanted to do a quick search just to see. So we had some portraits, just to see, what the collection entailed. A lot of portraits. All right, so it is a total of 6 pages. All right, so some of them do not give us a description when we hover over them. Some of them do. Unidentified people. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so it looks like a lot of these do not have specific names. African American man, African American woman, not names of specific people. Okay, but it does show interior of the homes. So it would be able to give you an idea of what some of the homes of some of the people living in would look like inside, outside. Okay, we have David Tobias Howard, undertaker, and his horse-drawn carriage. Okay. Some children. Internal Revenue Collector, specific person. Okay, so we do have some names, some specific people and their careers. Okay, we do have a few names on these And then again, some no-named portraits. A lot of no-named portraits, okay. Okay, a few again with names and then just people. Okay, so now we have again some people, some named people and their professions. Professions, people sewing, cutting, seamstress, drugstore, women's league, and then a lot of general portraits again. This was the part here that I found really intriguing. These images. So these are primary sources. This one in particular, based on a study of 40,000 individuals of Negro descent. This is in Georgia. If a person with more white than Negro blood would be considered yellow, and there were 16 of those people. A person would be considered black if they were full-blooded Negro. 40% of the Negro population in Georgia was considered black, and it's hard to read that. It's a little bit distorted, the percentage there. I guess we could do the math, 16, 44, so that must be about 40% there. Brown, they would be considered brown if a person has some blood, white blood, or the descendants of light-colored Africans. So this is how they would determine what they would refer to you as back in, let's see, what was the year on this one? Oh my gosh, well, sometime in the 1800s. I found these quite interesting. Some of these primary source documents that I came across. I was talking to my stepdaughter who is African American, and some of these that I came across were quite astounding. And she was telling me, yeah, we talk about some of these things in school. I said, and I asked if her teachers ever showed her any of these documents. She said, no, they don't. They've never shown us these. It's interesting that we have these primary source documents available to us, and I think a lot of teachers and definitely probably a lot of students don't know that these are available, and how impactful it would be to know that we could use these to educate. So I think as teachers and students, it would be great to know these are available. And I don't even teach social studies or history, and I found these amazingly impactful. So just going through these, I found it quite interesting that it seemed Georgia was very concerned with the population rise of the Negroes at the time. So it was really the late, like 1810 onward, they were really keeping track of the population, comparing with France, comparing with Germany, and watching the numbers and the rise of that particular population. So there's all kinds of hand-colored in charts, of course, because of, the available tools at the time. I think it would be really just amazing to be able to show these sorts of documents to students. So I found this very interesting. It would probably stimulate a lot of great conversations with students, and it made me a little bit more curious about what other documents I might be able to find that could be useful with students as well. So that was just, looking around, just happened upon these. So I would love to share this information with my social studies, group at school, see if it's something that they might be able to use. Currently, I'm teaching primarily AVID, a little bit of art, so it doesn't fit with what I'm studying right now, but again, with half of my family being African American, I did find it personally interesting, and I hope that some of you did as well. Thanks for watching.